Welcome to week 8. This week is all about cost management process group, and that's including plan cost management, estimating cost, determine the budget, and control cost. During plan cost management, we establish the procedures and policies required to plan, manage, and control cost. And then we move toward estimating. We will use a couple of techniques, and in this course we will review these techniques in estimating cost. Techniques such as parametric, bottom-up, 3-point estimate, and etc. And as you may aware, nowadays companies are using estimating softwares, and these softwares are developed to improve the estimating process. But bear in mind, to have a correct output from using these softwares, still you should require to fit them with the right inputs. Still you are required to use and implement the right estimating techniques, considering the complexity of your project, at what stage your project is, how much time you have, and what is the sensitivity of your project. Because using estimating techniques, ultimately you are calculating an approximate amount of the cost required by your project. And the function of these softwares, estimating softwares, is to help estimator in avoiding their repetitions and act as an archive of information required by the estimator with a very quick access. So after estimating project cost, then it is time to review the risk of the project and add the management reserves and contingency reserve to develop the project budget. So what is contingency reserves? The contingency reserve is a fund required to deal with the remaining risk after you implemented the risk response. And the management reserves is a fund required to deal with the risk, the unforeseen risk. So when we completed the estimating cost of the project, we have to add the management reserves, we have to add the contingency reserve, and develop the project budget. After completing the plan budget for the project, as a project manager, you should start reviewing the actual cost against the budget on a regular case and in a regular cycle. In case you find any gap, you should analyze that gap, and you have to find and implement a corrective action to bring the project back on the track. And that corrective action can be anything. Can be reducing the cost of some other activities to reduce the overall project cost, or it can be reducing the time of the project, because as you reduce the time you save money. To monitor the cost, you can either use a graphic presentation like S-curves, like cash flows, or you can use a tabular format. And it is important to look at the actual cost versus the project budget always, and also to show and to consider the forecasted cost or cost to complete of the project, because this will help you as a project manager to see where you are standing with respect to cost at each point of the time during the project life cycle. Are you over budget or you are under budget? Because as soon as you know, you can take corrective action and bring the project back on track, hopefully. Similar to estimating softwares, there are cost management softwares which are used in companies to capture the cost, and and again, the same principle applies. Still, you should develop the proper plan budget, and still you need to capture the actual cost correctly. Bear in mind, the project budget can be changed during project lifecycle, and this is due to the changes in the scope of the project or any changes in the project which has got approval. As a project manager, you should ensure approval of changes before implementation of the changes, because this will guarantee the required fund and necessary adjustment to the budget. At the end of this week, you are able to understand the cost estimating procedures, cost budgeting, and monitoring controlling of the cost in the project environment. Please read Chapter 7 of PMBOK, 5th edition, and review the slideshows and study notes. As part of your first assignment, you are expected to share your thought regarding the difference and similarities between the project budget and the cost estimate. Share your answer here in week 8 discussion forum, project budget versus project estimate, and write about the differences and the similarities, and exactly explain what is the project estimate and what is project budget. If you have any question, please bring it to my attention through general form questions, or you can email it to me directly. I'll try my best to reply them as soon as possible. Thank you very much.